everyone. Thanks for joining us for another kid-free weekend. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
And we are in a car. It's Avengers Endgame night, babe.
Woohoo!
Are you as excited as me or more excited?
As excited.
Okay. I didn't want to say less, because that would be just kind of a bummer. I'm just going to assume that you're at least as excited as I am.
I'm pretty excited. I can't wait. I hope that it's not going to be a big downer.
I think there's going to be downers.
I want some laughs.
But okay, well, I'm sure we'll get equal parts. So let's talk about that. It's been a while since we've seen Avengers Infinity War, but not too long. Is it still fresh in your mind?
I remember everybody dying. Can't forget a thing like that.
Well, but of course it wasn't everybody. So
right.
The big ones that made our kids cry were Spider-Man, Loki, Black Panther. He died.
Michonne is still alive.
Now Loki and Gamora died from other circumstances, so it's kind of hard to say if
what's going on with them.
Like, will they be dead? Okay. They have to bring a bunch of these people back. They have to.
Maybe they'll clone them.
Or maybe it'll be like an alternate universe. Maybe you could clone. I mean, they turned into that black ashy stuff. Maybe you could just take that and clone someone out of it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's got to be some DNA in there somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know. But how are they going to come back? What's going to make that happen? Is Thanos going to be all sad and then...
All right. Well,
okay, you can come over here to where all your friends are still alive.
All right, so let's talk about that, and let's be clear here. We have not seen the movie yet, so this is not spoilers. If, God forbid, we get something right, we're sorry, but we weren't trying to ruin anything for you. It's all guesswork on us at this point. We'll do spoilers later.
Correct.
So how would they bring everybody back? Well, if they can get the Infinity Gauntlet, then they could probably snap people back to existence the same way that Thanos snapped people out of existence. Infinity Stone magic seems really temporary. Like he changed nowhere, that giant head where the Collector lived. Right. He changed nowhere into that whole, like, everything's been destroyed and is on fire landscape, and then the second he left the area, it all changed back. Which I thought was kind of weird. If that's the Reality Stone, I would think anything you change stays changed. But either he undid it on his way out, or there was just... he had to, like, keep it going or something to keep changes happening.
Or maybe it just wasn't that thought out.
Yeah, maybe he was in a hurry and he didn't put enough effort into it. I'm not really sure. They don't explain how all that stuff works. So you could just get the glove and snap it back. And then... Okay, so let's say someone gets the glove and snaps back. When Thanos snapped... the glove itself got, like, all burnt and mangled.
Right, it looked ruined.
So that probably wasn't so bad for Thanos, because he's super big and strong and powerful. But if one of our heroes were to do a re-snap and use that much energy, I have a feeling that will be a fatal blow.
Whoa, who's going to do that? Iron Man?
Well, who are the most likely people to die? What do you think?
Iron Man?
Someone's not going to survive this. So Iron Man...
It'll be Pepper.
You think Pepper will get the glove? That would be hilarious. I wouldn't mind watching Gwyneth Paltrow explode or something. It's probably Iron Man or Captain America.
Oh, Captain America.
I've been saying for a long time that I think both of them are not going to make it out of this alive. We know they're done playing the characters. They've said as much as far as their contracts go. All that could be lies. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a really good gig. But if what they say is true and they're not coming back to these roles, then there's a decent chance that they will die.
They'll sacrifice themselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, totally. Sacrifice themselves to fix the universe. If you bring back half of the universe but die in the process, then I'd say you've died a hero. Yeah.
And they've lived, well, Captain America has lived many lives.
Well, he's been alive a long time, just frozen for half of it. I think there's a good chance they'll die, and we know that Black Panther, Spider-Man, they have to come back. They've already got movies in the pipeline. Who else? Some of the minor characters like Bucky, you could go either way with bringing them back.
Did Hawkeye?
Hawkeye wasn't in the last movie, but he's in this one, so he survives the snap.
I wonder if all of his family died.
Well, the previews seem to imply, just with the look on his face and the fact that he's, well, it seems to imply that he has lost his family. Just like Ant-Man has lost his family. That was pretty clear in the previews, too. Hawkeye, again,
Ant-Man doesn't have any family.
Ant-Man? He has his little girl and his ex-wife, and they're all friends now.
All right.
I'm not a comic reader. I don't know anything really unless I go and look it up on Wikipedia or like Marvel fan sites. But I do know something to the effect of Hawkeye changes his name at some point in the comic universes and becomes a character called Ronin. And when we see him like swinging a knife around in the previews, it's been assumed that he's going through that change. Like his despair has made him drop his bow and arrow and acquire some better skills. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could only shoot so many arrows.
Well, yeah. I mean, eventually you run out.
Right. And then where are you? Like, yeah, I'm Hawkeye. Watch out.
Saturday Night Live posted a flashback skit to a time when they did that. It was Jeremy Renner was hosting, and it was all the Avengers going like, "Okay, we got to get back out there and kill all the aliens." And he's like, "I'm out of arrows, guys. I'm sorry. I'll just go wait in the car." It is a legitimate problem. At least you can keep swinging a knife.
Yeah. Well, he's probably got a knife on him.
Okay, so take someone like Bucky. In the comic book universe, Bucky was once Captain America. He was a Captain America.
Right.
And so was Falcon, I believe. I think Falcon also took the mantle of Captain America at some point. So these guys can come back and continue to be part of future movies or not. They have a lot of options there. But if Cap was to die, it might be nice if one of his resurrected friends would pick it up.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there kind of has to be a Captain America, so Bucky can just take that spot.
He'd be pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. I think the person I'm on the fence most about is Thor.
No.
There's been...
He is not... Did he die?
No, he didn't. He's one of the... None of the original guys died. Hulk is still there.
Really?
Cap and Iron Man and Thor. None of them disintegrated.
I never thought about that.
But Thor just seems like his franchise is in such a great place right now. I do not want him to be done, whether it's through death or just retirement. I want more Thor movies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but how many Thor movies can you really make?
Well, I don't know, not forever, but a couple more.
I do absolutely. He's my favorite out of all of the heroes now, and he used to be my least favorite.
You mean... How well? Okay, was it Ragnarok that turned him around when he got all funny and cut his hair?
Yes, but he was funny in no, that's not true, because he was funny in like Ghostbusters and a little bit funny in the first movie, but it just my love for him has grown over time.
Okay, I appreciate that, and he's they're teasing us with like tension between him and Captain Marvel, sexual or otherwise, and Asgard doesn't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. I feel like he needs to finish some of that story arc. I feel like he needs to help rebuild Asgard, help them find a home and a purpose, and then he could move on or die or whatever. There's been multiple Thors in the comic book world. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Including a girl.
I know. I was just going to say, a girl Thor.
Right. That was, I think, in the comics.
She's leaving right there. She's leaving.
We're looking for parking right now. I think
Turn on your blinkers.
In the comics, it was Jane, his girlfriend from the first two Thor movies. Just so you know.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, I know. We're looking for parking. Oh, there's a guy walking into the theater with an Infinity Gauntlet on. I'm just
maybe
not.
Maybe we go around. Is that one empty?
Not that cool, I guess.
Right in front of this pretty.
Well, I don't know. Isn't this person leaving?
Thought so, but now maybe not.
Everyone's going to enjoy our parking conversation. I mean, they're sitting in the car.
Maybe they're waiting for the movie to start.
I feel like a second I move to go to that other space, they're going to pull out.
That should be illegal.
To tease us?
Mm-hmm. Let's just go around.
Oh, jeez.
There's somebody leaving up there.
Shall I cut this out? Or
I don't know.
Should we keep the stress of parking in there? Oh, wait. Someone just drove by this space.
Yay. Okay.
Didn't take it.
What were we saying now?
Thor.
Thor.
Does Thor live or die? Let's make a prediction.
I hope he lives.
I think he's going to live tonight. I don't think they're done with him yet.
If he dies, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like Lily was with Peter Parker.
Captain America, live or die? She's what?
Die.
Iron Man?
Die.
I think that's where his arc is going. Incredible Hulk. He's never even gotten his own movie because, like, Universal owns the rights or whatever.
I think he might die, but maybe not. I don't know.
It would be great if they've got 3 hours of movie. He needs some conclusion, though.
Maybe he'll lose his superpower. Maybe he'll become like regular old Bruce Banner.
He'll just not be Hulk anymore. I wonder if I don't know if they could pass that on to anyone else. I don't know what the comics have on other Hulks. That I'm not sure. There was a She-Hulk, but I don't know if Incredible Hulk ever went.
We saw China play She-Hulk.
Did we talk about that on a podcast once?
I don't know.
The Avengers porn parody? Oh, it's so bad. It was unwatchable. We couldn't get very far in it, as I recall.
No, her paint was going on the guy, and
yeah. Rest in peace, China.
That
was sad.
It was messy.
It was awful.
Green everywhere.
Okay, who else do we have? Doctor Strange.
I hope he dies
to dust.
I don't like him.
I think he's got to come back. They haven't sequelized his movie yet.
If it was not Benjamin Cumberbatch, I would enjoy it more.
Benedict? At least you got his last name right. As soon as you said it, I was like, Benjamin Cumberbatch. Oh, God. Okay, we have 9 minutes till the movie starts, so we better get going. Thank you, Sinopolis, for hosting us tonight. We're going to go in and see this in 3D and in comfy chairs.
Yay! And we're going to eat? I might eat.
And we will eat, yes.
Okay.
This will be our dinner and a movie all at once. Which is good, because it's 3 hours. I mean, that's a long date anyway.
I hope they have intermission.
You can only put up with so much of me. No, I don't think they do.
Ah.
But if you want, I can Google bathroom break tips. People have already put those up.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll come back. Maybe we'll talk a little bit right afterwards in the car on our way home. We'll try to keep that just more reactions, less spoilers. And then we'll do spoilers.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
All right.
We'll give a warning, though.
Okay.
All right.
See you soon.
Okay, we're back, and we're starting the drive home. We haven't said anything about the movie to each other yet. How are you feeling, babe?
Feeling pretty good.
Pretty good?
It was a good movie.
I feel, I don't say this often, especially about these epic stories. I feel satisfied.
Yeah?
You can't really complain about too much.
I feel satisfied also.
It's a very fulfilling movie.
Yes, a lot of closure.
And kind of exhausting.
And openings.
Well, I would have enjoyed some more openings, I think.
Yeah.
But it did round out this epic tale nicely. So, are we ready to enter spoiler territory, or do you want to talk about broad concepts?
Let's
I don't know what I got for that.
Let's just get right in this meat of it.
Okay, so we're entering the spoiler zone. Holy shit. Okay, so first of all, I was almost right about Captain America and Iron Man dying.
Yep, you're almost right.
I guess Cap deserves some happiness.
Yeah. Do you think that was him in makeup in the end?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was.
No, I think it was him in makeup. They do really good makeup these days.
Well, those look like real veins and stuff.
Well, that's the job of a quality makeup artist.
All right.
It had to be him. It had to be him. I mean, they could have added some CG effects to, accentuate the aging, but I'm sure it must have been him.
All right.
Just gonna turn off my blinker there for a minute. Oh, and people are trying to kill each other. That's nice. Iron Man.
Iron Man dead.
But a hero. See, now he had his moment of happiness. This is what it's all about, man. It's starting to become too predictable. Iron Man gets his moment of happiness. He's finally at peace.
Then he dies.
He's a good dad. He's got love. And then, yeah, he has to go and heroically die.
Right.
Whereas Cap didn't get that till the end.
Well, we didn't see him die. He might have another 10 years, maybe 15.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to be adventuring during that time.
I wonder if he's still badass.
Oh, I bet you he is. He's one of those guys where you see a security video where a couple idiots try to mug an old man and then the old man just fucking knocks them on their asses. He's that guy.
I thought he couldn't get old. Oh, but he went back in the past
frozen
from before when he got frozen.
Well, I think he went back to the past from, well, how old do you think he was there?
He must have been, it must have been before he was frozen, because otherwise he would have been frozen.
Well, he was frozen in the 40s, right? It was the end of World War II. That's when he got iced. So I feel like he must have gone to sometime after that.
Well,
maybe the 60s.
No, because if he went after that, he would have been in ice.
Well, no, he definitely had to travel. Well, okay, for him to spend his life with
his girlfriend,
what was her name? Maggie? Mm-hmm. Maggie Carter. For him to spend his life with her, he has to go back to when she's the same age as him.
Right.
So it could have been like that 1970 scene, but I think he might have gone back a little bit before that even, because he looked pretty old.
No, and the music that they're dancing to is way older than 70s.
Oh, that's true.
It was definitely before he got frozen. Otherwise, he would go back to the time that he was frozen.
No, he can't go back from before he was frozen, because then Peggy was her daughter, right? Because then Carter didn't know him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
She met him during, he can't go back to before his origin story. And his origin story happened, and then,
where
did war, and...
I don't know. This is not possible.
Well, it's time travel. Okay, let's talk about time travel. I found even that to be relatively satisfying.
Really? You usually don't.
I hate time travel. But I love the fact that they took time in the movie, in the script, to shit all over all the bad time travel movies.
Oh, they did?
Well, yeah, when they were talking about, you can't talk to yourself, and, you can't...
Right. So they
bet on sports. Yeah, when they were shitting on Back to the Future and, all time after time and Somewhere in Time and all the movies with time in it. I thought that was nice because they were saying, no, you can, but it's not going to change what happened in our timeline. It's just its own sort of separate thing, which still is all kinds of confusing, but at least they addressed it.
Okay.
Plus, they're going back to put the stones back, so it's almost like nothing ever happened. Almost.
But then Thanos would have found them.
Right. Well, he will. He'll find them again, and all this happens. It's part of the time stream.
Well, what was the fucking point, then? It's all going to happen again.
Right. Well, they never make it so that Thanos doesn't do what he did. They just make it so that they undid it 5 years later. So that makes it
So it's going to always... They're going to have to live through that again?
Well, the versions of themselves will, sure, but not the people that we saw actually go through it.
But
because they're in the now.
They remember, though.
Sure. They remember what happened, of course.
Oh, my God. This is just a fucked up timeline.
Well, now, how about this, though? Peter Parker goes back to high school.
Back to high school.
And apparently, I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, his sidekick.
Guy in the chair, right?
Yeah, he was so happy and upset because he was gone. He died.
But guy in the chair must have died too.
Why?
Because he's still in high school. It's been 5 years. So the high school is probably going to be really weird now because, everybody that used to go to school there but survived the snap has now graduated and moved on. Whereas all the kids that have just been resurrected 5 years later have to go back to high school because, as far as they're concerned, nothing ever happened. No time passed for those people. I know. It's going to be really confusing. And I know it says something about my personality, but what was going through my head was, okay, now that everybody in the government's back, everybody in the world is alive again, there's going to be so much paperwork to do. Because they got to sit there and now start trying to figure out, like, all the people that have come back, which was documented, the people that were missing, right? They were all documented as being missing. All those people have come back now. Now we have to, like, get them back into the Social Security databases, and we have to, mark them all as alive again instead of dead. There's going to be so much red tape.
Oh my gosh, our government would have a shit fit.
The headaches from that would be, I feel bad that was going through my head. You want to know?
No.
I feel bad that was going through my head, but that's just the way I am, I guess.
Well, yeah, that was kind of a big... Okay, first of all...
A big... Yes?
I feel like there was some damage done to the Earth. And...
Well, definitely where the Avengers base was. A lot of damage.
Well, is that in New York? Where is that?
I don't know. It's off in the country somewhere, like upstate New York, maybe. It seems like it.
I don't know. It just seems like school would take a long time to get back in the swing of things.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's emotional and also part of the bureaucracy that I was talking about.
Well, and construction. I bet some schools got wiped out.
Oh, well. No, I mean, you mean in the 5 years or during the final battle?
No, during the final battle.
Well, the final battle seemed to only take place out in the... Like, it wasn't that big of an area. It was big, but
it was in a city.
No.
Oh, right.
The final battle was over where the Avengers base is.
Let's just go watch it again.
Okay. Want me to turn this around? Go to the 10 o'clock show? No, it was because, like, the Avengers had Avengers Tower in the first Avengers movie, and then they got rid of that, and they moved out to the country. That's where this battle took place.
All right.
Not the country, but out of town.
Okay. So, a lot of movie.
A lot of
setup. The first half of the movie was all set up.
Well, yeah, you had to get the team back together. Mm-hmm. What did you think of Ronin Hawkeye? Is he badass?
Who?
Or Hawkeye, a.k.a. Ronin.
What did I think of him?
Yeah, his little transformation there with his mohawk and his...
I like him better now.
You like him better as a...
I am glad that...
gloomy guy?
Well, yeah. And I'm glad that he is using another weapon. That was good to see.
Yeah, the sword was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very sharp.
Yeah, just like Michonne's.
Cutting those alien dogs in half. I'm kind of bummed out he didn't die, honestly, and I'm a little confused by it.
You're mean.
No, it's not that. Well, okay. If I gotta choose between him and Black Widow, it makes the most sense if he is the one to give himself up, I think.
Why? Because he has kids.
Yeah, I know. That's what he was fighting for. But he's fighting to bring his kids back. It's like how it was okay that Tony Stark died because he fought for the world and he fought to make sure that his happy place was not destroyed, and even though he died, his kid's still there. He was worried that his kid and his relationship with Pepper was going to get wiped out. Mm-hmm. But instead, everything's going to be okay.
So you're saying that you would rather that his wife Laura and 2 children were dead and he was
I would rather he sacrificed himself to save his family than Natasha sacrificing herself for him.
She didn't sacrifice herself for him. She loved him like a brother, and she loved his family. And she wanted to save them all over one of her, you know?
But unlike she's like, I feel like she's the only one that hasn't gotten some kind of closure, some shit, that storytelling contentment. And maybe it's good because they threw me for a loop on that one.
She's too damaged.
No, she's a good person.
She got really fucked up by the death of everybody.
Right, but then they were fighting to fix everybody. I mean, okay, so...
She can't have babies or anything, right?
Right.
Didn't she say that? So, yeah. I mean, she's giving life.
She was in love with Hulky Hulk.
Was she? I mean, now he's green. Is he like that always? They will never be able to have sex if that's how big he is.
Wasn't he pretty hunky?
Pretty hunky.
See? You take him.
I would not take him.
You don't know what he looks like down there.
Well, no, I don't, but I'm assuming that it's proportionate.
Right, well, you know.
That can't go anywhere in a natural...
Just the tip.
That won't be satisfying for him.
If he loved you, it would be enough.
Aww.
You know, just saying.
He is. I do really like him.
Right. And didn't they deserve some happiness? He comes out of this with nothing. She's dead. And his arm's all fucked up.
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. All right, we're home. Do we sit in the car and continue talking, or do we unleash the hound and talk about this on microphone in a little bit?
Let's do that.
Okay. Okay. So we're back. We're now in our house. Hopefully less background noise from traffic. Okay. So we had a little bit of time to take a breather here and really mull it over. So now, where were we? We were talking about Ronan and whether or not he should have died or Black Widow should have died. But maybe we can move on from that and just, how about let's talk about the final battle.
Okay.
What do you say? We talked about time travel a little bit. That was the crux of the storyline. And then we get Thanos who comes back in. Mm-hmm. Did you see that one coming?
I did not.
I wasn't sure how we were going to get there.
I didn't realize we were going to have Invade New York #2.
Well, it did take me a little bit by surprise, I guess. Like, we knew we had to have some kind of conflict at the end, but I couldn't see it coming at first.
Right. I didn't think Thanos would be back, no.
I thought it was
Did I like it?
Did you like it? Yeah.
Well, I didn't necessarily like the war again. It was pretty much the same war as the first time.
In Infinity War?
I think so, yeah. What? No.
Well, you still had all the dog things.
Right, and the flying, like, millipede things.
Oh, yeah, which was a callback to the original Avengers.
That one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't necessarily like that battle. I think I was hoping for some other kind of battle, but like an interstellar battle or something.
Oh, something, yeah, actually, like off of Earth.
Off of Earth.
Yeah, that might have been good. And you could have done it the way Doctor Strange and his boys were teleporting everybody around. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been cool.
But it was a cool battle at the same time. They had all those holes come open and...
I was a little... Okay, I guess first and foremost, I was a little disappointed that Ant-Man survived.
Ant-Man has to survive.
I love him. I absolutely love him. I hope there's going to be another movie. I love all that. But they put him basically unarmored, like he's not in an Iron Man suit or anything, as this missile hits. And apparently he shrunk himself and that's how he survived. But that doesn't really make any sense.
Well, sure it does.
Bugs are just as prone to, being concussed as anything else. I don't think that should have given him immunity from a giant explosion because it crashed through the window.
I mean, ants are resilient.
All right. Well, let's light off some firecrackers near an anthill and see what happens.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think a bunch of ants will die from the shockwaves.
Well, let's have a test.
It's the shockwave thing, and I'm putting too much science into this now, I know, but I've watched a bunch of Mythbusters, damn it, and they're always checking, like, at what range can a human body withstand a shockwave based on,
But that's not a human body. It's an ant-man body.
Okay, but then everybody else, too. I mean, they bombed the shit out of that Avengers headquarters.
Did you ever see them do one on bugs?
No, I'm not, but not just Ant-Man, though. I mean, it makes sense the Hulk survives. He's almost indestructible. Iron Man, or was it Iron Man and or War Machine might have been in their armor because, like, Hulk was going to do his thing. Okay. But not everybody should have survived that, I feel like. Like, this big sneak attack, no one saw it coming. Not everybody. Hawkeye, he's not tough enough to survive that. He's just not. I hate going back to him again. I'm sorry, Hawkeye. I don't hate you enough to just wish death upon you, but there are so many ways that you should have died. He's just a dude.
He has super feelings power.
Super emotions? Mm-hmm. Super sensitivity? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
That's his superpower.
That doesn't help him against explosions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not even armored.
Right. Exactly. Like, he might have been wearing the time travel suit, which might be sort of a little bit armored. But just no, just... So, yeah, that was a little disappointing. And I think just in general, I expected more death. We did get Iron Man. We got Captain America, kinda, but not because of battle. Mm-hmm. Captain America, he took some pretty big hits.
Yeah, but he's indestructible.
Well, Hulk's indestructible.
So is Captain America.
I guess so. I mean, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I mean, he has all his teeth and everything. No matter how many times Thanos was strong enough to body slam and beat the shit out of the Hulk. But if he punches Captain America in the face like 20 times, he still has all his
face
teeth.
Doesn't get caved in or anything.
Right.
Maybe he's got adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, he must. Oh, man, it would have been so cool to get the X-Men into that fight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all part of the same universe, but Disney, even though Disney owns Fox now, they're saying, I think at this point, they're still planning on keeping those universes separate, which is
strange.
Makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Nice to see them together. Someday. We'll get there eventually, I think.
Okay.
When they start running out of characters in the MCU. All right. So, I absolutely loved the girl power part.
When Captain Marvel and...
Well, was it Spider-Man that they were trying to... Someone had the glove. It might have been Spider-Man at that point, and they were trying to help get the glove to Ant-Man and the Wasp over at that shitty van down by the river.
Right.
But it was all the female characters showed up and were helping protect it, which was a cool moment. Except for one.
What?
Pepper fucking Potts.
Yeah.
I did not like her being there for the final battle.
Aw, you're so mean.
I know.
But she didn't really belong. She's not a superhero.
No.
She's the side,
she had her moment in Iron Man.
Coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah. She's his assistant. She was.
And she didn't even like those. She doesn't like those.
The suits, right.
Suits, right.
And so in Iron Man 2, she had her moment. She had the super strength thing that was going to burn her up from the inside. And then I think she wore a suit for a little while there. But that was enough. That was a plenty.
Of Pepper Potts.
I liked the reunion between Pepper and Iron Man in the beginning of the movie here. I thought that was nice. That was nicely emotional. I think Gwyneth Paltrow is a fine actress. The daughter, super cute. I'd rather have seen her in the suit. Just like, I'm going to save my daddy.
Aw.
That would have been cool.
That would be cute.
But I didn't want Pepper.
That was some foreshadowing they did with that mask.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got an heir to the throne now. Not to be a Game of Thrones reference. I know we're always talking about Game of Thrones. But yeah, that'd be great. Like a next generation. Except she's super little. But the MCU's already gone on for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Another 10, she could be in that suit.
Peter Parker came in when he was like 16. 6 years. She got 6.
There you go. Well, she's 5 right now, isn't she?
I don't know.
I thought she was 5 years old.
I don't know.
All right. She'll get there. I think that'll be cool. The girl Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Peter Parker's back, so your daughters can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes.
I don't think my daughter was as emotionally invested in Peter's well-being, was she?
No, I don't think so.
No. But he's back. Loki did not come back.
Oh, that's right.
Right. They undid the snap and everybody that died in the snap, but Loki didn't come back.
Well, where was Loki when we last saw him?
Corpse in space.
Was he?
He died in that first scene of Infinity War. He got stabbed, I think.
By Thanos. But...
No, he got choked to death.
Is he really dead?
Well, people have often said no, like that was just yet another Loki illusion. But we haven't seen him since, so I'm thinking maybe not. The one thing that I thought would have given him some level of plot immunity was that on the new Disney streaming channel, they're supposedly making a Thor series. Or not a Thor series. A Bless You series.
Sorry.
They're making a Loki series and a Scarlet Witch series.
Oh.
That are supposedly starring...
Really?
Yeah, Hiddleston and...
Scarlett.
Olsen.
Oh,
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it could be something back in time for Loki. It could be his old adventures on Asgard. But if not, then they're going to have to bring him back in some capacity. Somehow, some way.
Well, I would watch that.
Yeah. We'll have to buy the Disney streaming service.
Oh.
I'm sorry. And the other one that didn't come back was Gamora, except she kind of did, except she didn't.
I
don't even know.
Right. Is she there or is she not there?
Like I was going to say Scarlet, but it's Scarlett Johansson, not Scarlet Witch. Like Black Widow, she died from the Soul Stone, right? She was the sacrifice.
Right.
So she shouldn't have been able to come back, but then they brought her in from the past on Thanos' ship.
Right.
So that's confusing.
Right.
We didn't see her turn to dust.
But, no, because she was killed for real.
No, I mean, in last movie, she was killed for real. But
Before
then when she came from the past.
Snap.
Right.
So she can't come. Right. She came from the past. Is she going to stay in the future? Does she have to go back?
Well,
but I thought anybody
back to the future.
I thought that anybody that died would remain dead. Died from not the snap.
Yeah, it seems like it. Because you have to have something. Apparently, the stones will interpret your will and do whatever that needs to be done. So I assume that when Tony snapped, he said in his mind something like, destroy everybody who is loyal to Thanos?
Well, we cannot speculate.
I don't know. I mean, we saw everybody turn to dust, but
the whole idea was that just to bring back everybody that was turned to dust.
Well, that was what Hulk did. Hulk brought back everybody that was turned to dust.
Oh my gosh.
So Hulk in his head is thinking, undo the previous damage, bring everybody back that was turned to dust. He snaps his fingers, everyone's back.
And it's overpopulation again.
And we're back to overpopulation and all those problems, but everybody's happy about it. It should see, if you, sociologically speaking, everybody dying and then everybody coming back like that, all that trauma and relief we should see sharp decreases in crime and greed and all sorts of social problems.
Maybe people would come. It's like a enlightenment.
Yeah. Everybody that sees their friends and family come back will appreciate them more. Mm-hmm. Everybody that gets to come back and has no idea what happened will be like, I lost 5 years and this is all really weird. They'll probably need lots of therapy, but they'll be happy that they're back. But that was Hulk undoing that snap. So when Tony does his snap, he's like, destroy everybody Thanos, every Thanos soldier or whatever. So I don't know that we saw anything with Gamora after that. We knew she was around. We knew that she knew that Peter Quill was the guy that she would eventually fall in love with.
This guy?
Yeah. Which was funny. I love that moment. I don't think we saw her after that. We saw Peter looking at a picture of her on the ship and being sad about it. But did she turn to dust? Or is she still around?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Okay, so here's a question. You and I love each other.
Is that the question?
No, I was just looking for some kind of acknowledgement.
Yes,
I got nervous there for a second. Uh-huh. Okay, so you and I love each other. I die. And you're sad about that. Probably.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But then if a past me that had never met you before comes into your life, now you know that you have a new chance, and not only is it a new chance with me, but it's a new chance with younger me who is definitely skinnier. But could you feel that way about a different version of me because it's not really the me that you built your life with? Is this too philosophical?
It's pretty philosophical. I don't know. I mean, it would be creepy.
Okay.
I don't know how I would feel. It would be, I don't know.
I don't know either. Because it would have to be kind of weird for Peter to know that this is not the same woman he fell in love with, but it sort of is.
Peter Parker?
No, Peter Quill.
Peter Quill. Oh,
sorry.
Duh.
Two Peters in the same universe. How dare they?
Guys are not the same as women, first of all.
Well, yeah, I mean, he just wants some of that green pussy. I get that.
Right.
It's got to be fun.
I think it would be fine for him. Although she already came around. She turned around quickly.
And she was fighting for the right side.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not in love with him yet.
No.
I guess that would be the flip side. If you know that you're eventually going to fall in love with someone, but then you meet that person and they're an idiot, do you try to fight that you'll fall in love with them, or do you just resign yourself to falling in love with them and let it happen?
Well, if the circumstances were different, as her sister said.
Nebula.
Oh, Nebula. She said that was all that was available. It was either him or the raccoon or Drax or the tree.
Yeah, that's an interesting set of choices.
We don't have to be with somebody, but if you're horny one night, you gotta just do what comes natural.
I just realized something, and this has nothing to do with the sex part, but if we're gonna get, and I have to imagine we're gonna get another Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Thor is with them. That means we get more Thor movies, sort of, even if they're not actually Thor movies.
That'd be cool.
Thor just wants to roam the galaxy with the Guardians.
That would be cool.
What did he call that at the end?
I don't know.
He had some new word for instead of Guardians of the Galaxy. Asgardians. That's right. Yeah. Oh, that was good. That would be exciting, and you get more Thor out of it.
That'd be cool.
And we'd have more tension between Thor and Quill.
Is there going to be more Guardians?
I hope so. They only did 2, right?
I think so.
They did 2 Guardians movies, and then they had their parts to play. Yeah, there's got to be another Guardians movie. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll look and see what's been announced. I know that Spider-Man Far From Home is the next movie coming, and that is supposedly the end of whatever they're calling this, like the 3rd cycle or chapter or whatever of the MCU. Like, this was not the final chapter of this chunk of MCU. Far From Home is. Phase. So this is phase 3, and Spider-Man Far From Home is the end of phase 3. That's what Kevin Feige said. And then, so we got Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay. Supposedly they're doing a Black Widow movie. Explain that, please.
She's dead.
Okay. Well,
how can they be doing a Black Widow movie?
I don't know.
Is she coming back to life?
You have the 2 options of either finding a way to resurrect them, which comic books are notorious for doing, or do like a Black Widow origin story where we see her as like a Russian agent and getting out. And that would be cool and probably very action packed. But then she's going to die, and that might make you sad.
Maybe they decided at the last minute to make her die, and they're not going to be doing the Black Widow movie anymore.
Yeah, it's possible. Possible. The Eternals.
Who are they?
That is another upcoming movie, which I had heard about but forgot. Well, I'll just read you this little snippet here rather than try to decipher it myself. In Marvel lore, the Eternals are a superpowered offshoot of early man with functional immortality. Like the Asgardians, the Eternals have a heavy hand in shaping Earth's mythology. For instance, most of them were immortalized in human myth, like the Eternal Circe, who inspired the Greek story of Circe. Spelled differently. Do you know the Greek story of Circe?
No.
She's from the Odyssey, that epic tale of Odysseus, and she was one of their stops along the way, where I think they were just looking for food, and they found some pigs on an island, I think, and they ate them, and it turned out that those were dudes, and
they were men.
Yeah, and Circe captured all these guys and used her witchcraft to turn Odysseus' men into pigs.
Oh, so they'll get eaten by somebody else.
Maybe, possibly Odysseus. I don't know.
Why does she not like them? She doesn't like men.
Yeah, I think she just hated men.
Well,
except she liked Odysseus. One of the things that I think gets glossed over a lot in the Odyssey is that even though he was trying to get home to his wife Penelope, Odysseus was laying a lot of pipe along the way. Yeah, he had a number of stops for Nookie. And long stops, too. Like, there were places, I think he stayed with Circe for like a year, with his men being pigs, until he could finally figure out a way to get them out.
And he got them out?
I think so. Some of them.
With the pigs? He just tied them all up and
I think
walk down the road.
Like, got some of them to change back or something. I don't know. Cool. I don't remember every detail, but that was the Circe story. She was a witch.
That's a fitting name
for Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I'm sure there's some connection there with George R.R. Martin, even though those are also spelled differently. What?
Well,
what
maybe Melisandre will turn a bunch of people into pigs.
Maybe. And they did that in Willow, if you remember that.
I remember that.
Doctor Strange 2, and we're already up to May 2021. So hopefully the world still exists. Black Panther 2. Ooh, here's a good one. Shang-Chi just got announced recently. Shang-Chi was created in the kung fu craze of the 1970s. Unlike Iron Fist, Shang-Chi is fully Chinese and doesn't have superpowers. So it's going to be a
So it's not a
action
superpower movie.
He's not superpowered, but he's a Marvel superhero.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And is martial arts based, which I'm always all for.
He's an everyday hero.
Oh, there it is. 2021, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's right. Of course there is. That's what James Gunn got fired from.
Oh.
Remember all that on Twitter? Like
I do.
He had really old tweets that some conservative fucktard drubbed up and was like, Disney, you can't have this guy. He joked about something stupid 10 years ago. And then he got fired off the movie. And then there was a big uproar with most of the cast saying, we don't want to be part of this unless James Gunn is part of it.
Sounds like, never mind.
He's back now. He's back at least as the writer, I think. Maybe they're not letting him direct it, but they brought him back to the project.
Well, I mean, that should make people happy one way or another, I guess. Or not.
What the hell? Okay, and then there's the Disney Plus shows. I'm sorry. I got
Plush?
Plush?
Plus?
Disney Plush.
It sounded like you said
We're going to make
plush.
some stop motion animations using cute
Plushy.
Disney Plush versions of superheroes. No, Disney Plus. That's the name of their streaming service. Very creative. So there's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I forgot about that one. They're getting their own show. So that should be pretty cool. Like a buddy show. Yeah.
Huh.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Bucky and Falcon guy at the end that got
the shield.
the shield.
So he's basically the new Captain America, I guess. And then I don't know if this is really the name of the show or not, but they're calling it WandaVision. Starring Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff and Paul Bettany as Vision, this series will focus on the relationship between these two characters. So, since Vision wasn't brought back by the snap, we don't really know what that means.
Vision sucks.
And then, sure enough, there's a Loki show, a Hawkeye show. Oh, wait. This one hasn't been officially confirmed, but there have been rumors about Jeremy Renner coming to Disney Plus for a limited series. Speculation is that he will be training his daughter Lila to take on the role of Hawkeye. That would be cool. Wouldn't Hawkeye be more interesting if it's like a teenage girl?
Yes.
That's really good with a bow and arrow?
Yes.
And then the Loki one, we don't understand. It's not likely that this show will be about what happens post-Endgame, but we don't actually know. But that's what's coming up. That's the slate. So we have a couple new heroes and a few more sequels.
Okay, well.
Over the next
Loki may or may
years.
not be alive.
Yeah, we don't know. It's possible he fudged his way out of it. He's very slippery.
He is, yeah.
But we don't know. I don't know. Kind of crazy.
Okay, so let's get back to the Endgame. Are we done?
Oh God, what else was there? We could
we
be done.
didn't talk much about it.
I think.
What do you think of Captain Marvel in this?
Disappointingly little of her.
Yeah.
And she was a little aloof.
She seems to have become much more stern.
Yeah.
Than she was in her movie.
Well, so it's been like, that movie was in the 90s, so it's been 30 years? Like 25 years or so, like, since her movie.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So she
that makes more sense.
She left Captain Marvel Part 1 helping the Skrulls find a new homeworld. And we don't know what's happened since then. She alluded to a lot has happened since then.
I don't like her character much.
Yeah. She was a little, she was almost like Bran from Game of Thrones, like a little robotic almost.
Yeah, I liked when she met the gang. She met Thor and the hammer flies past her. She doesn't even flinch. That was great.
That was cute.
Too bad there wasn't more of that.
Yeah, I wanted more lore. Loki and, no, damn it.
Thor.
Thor and Captain Marvel. I wanted more of that, definitely. That would have been nice.
Well, maybe next time.
It's great that she came in and saved them because it was looking bleak. That she, destroyed the ship in, one fell swoop.
We could make more Captain Marvels because we know how she was made, right?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, it was an accident, right? That explosion just happened to blow up this super powerful thing and suck into her.
Yeah, we just need to do that again.
if you can replicate the circumstances exactly. But good luck.
All right.
That's one of the perfect superhero origin stories, because no one can make things exactly like they were the first time around to replicate the scientific, explosion. Flash has the sort of the same problem, I think. But you don't need more than one Captain Marvel, because she is basically all powerful.
Yeah.
She's
going to be around forever. I don't like her haircut.
I was going to say that, but I felt like I'd get labeled as a petty man. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the haircut.
Yeah, it wasn't great. We just didn't get enough of her.
Yeah.
She was there at the very beginning. And that was it.
I loved her in her movie, but I don't feel like we got enough of her character in the first movie. And now I feel like her character is even less
human.
Less human, but also less interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, in the first movie, she didn't know who she was and didn't really come into her own until the very end. Yeah. Yeah, they need to do some big... And there's no Captain Marvel movie on that slate I just read.
What?
That doesn't mean there isn't one planned. I'm sure they've got to be planning something.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. Boy, it all sounds kind of bleak all of a sudden. My understanding was that she was the hero that was going to helm the next few phases. Like... This first one was all kind of centered around Iron Man. It started with him and it ended with him. And he was even in the Spider-Man movie, he's been the one making the Avengers what they are.
True.
And now that we're moving on from that, do we still have the Avengers even? I don't know. Do they?
Well, their building got blown up again.
Again, yeah.
So they're going to need somebody to fund their new place if they want to have a little.
Pepper will do it.
Yeah, Pepper's, I'm sure, got lots of money now.
Sure, Pepper's a booster. She'll help.
I hope so.
But then we'll have to see her again. Maybe not.
Maybe it'll be all Jarvis.
The computer. Well, Friday, Jarvis is gone.
Friday,
because Jarvis was Vision, so there is no Jarvis.
That's weird. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it was Jarvis plus the Mind Stone turned into Vision. Yep.
No wonder he is lame.
Well, it was always Paul Bettany's voice doing Jarvis, so it feels like they always had that in mind, which is pretty cool.
Huh.
But yeah, now there's Friday instead. Maybe Friday will rebuild them.
I hope that he becomes powerful at some point.
Friday?
Vision.
If he comes back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he can do something.
He was disappointingly vulnerable in that last
it's
movie.
like everybody had to protect him because he was just a soft, squishy...
But he shouldn't have been, because he was made out of vibranium. But then those weapons could phase through him, and that's how he got cut open. But yeah, he still should have been able to hold his own better, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything. We've seen him do literally nothing.
And then he died. He destroyed Ultron at the end of Avengers 2. He was the guy to take Ultron down.
Oh,
off screen.
That was a long time ago.
And off screen, which is disappointing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Vision's coming back in some fashion.
He'll be like the cook or something.
The Avengers celebrity chef. Yeah, that'd be good. I could see that. Wearing his sweaters. I don't know. I don't know that I think I want to see this movie again. We scrambled to a date night for it because it was happening on a kid-free weekend. I think your kids are seeing it with their dad, and my kids have not seen it or are not seeing it this weekend. So I think I'm going to have to take them and see it again. It's a good excuse. Good excuse for me. You can come if you want.
No.
No? You've had enough for me?
I've had enough.
All right. Well, I'll take my kids to go see it. That'll be a great excuse for me to see it a second time. And then I guess if I have anything to add, I'll just talk about it sometime on a coming podcast.
Alrighty.
All right. I did love the movie. It did feel very satisfying. Those are my final thoughts. I was sated, I think. I feel good. You? I
didn't dislike it. I thought it was really good, and I just feel like it was jam-packed with every single character, so we didn't get
Yeah, but still 3 hours. I mean,
Yeah, it was. I don't need it to be any longer, that's for sure. I had to pee in the middle.
I made it through.
You made it through 3 hours.
I paced myself. Okay, here's my strategy. If you haven't seen this yet and you're going to go, I drank like 2.5 liters of water during the day on Friday. But then I stopped drinking water around like 4:30 for a 6 o'clock movie. So I had voided all the water that was in me by the time the movie started and just sipped a little bit of Diet Coke during the movie, as is tradition. And I didn't have to pee until after the show was over.
Congratulations.
I kept my hydration going because, kidneys, but I paced it in a different kind of way.
Good for you. I'm glad you planned it out nicely so you didn't have to miss any part of the movie.
I'm proud of myself too. Thank you. All right. So there you go. So you didn't love it as much as I did, but you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
All right. So you should go see it, everybody. If you're listening, we enjoyed it. It was
well, now they've just got all the spoilers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, now we've ruined it for you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be listening to this. In fact, rewind, go back in time, stop yourself from listening to the movie, the show. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I think my brain's fried.
Okay.
Too much Marvel talk.
Let's go then.
Too many convoluted things, and Game of Thrones episode 3 is coming up. So if you aren't already subscribed to Pod of Thrones, you should join us on that because there's so much Game of Thrones fun to be had. And it's a crazy weekend, man. The biggest episode in Game of Thrones history and Endgame all at the same time.
Yahoo!
It's almost too much to handle.
It is.
So my brain scrambled. All right. We're going to go. It's been fun, Avengers. We hope to see more of you. Later. Excelsior!
Excelsior.
Oh, Stanley. He was in it.
Yeah, they did a great CGI.
Was that CGI?
He was young.
Yeah. Cool.
It was in the 70s.